Hi everybody, thanks for tuning in again. My name's Clint, I'm Mystic Valley Designs, I paint model horses. Today's episode, I've got to keep short. My last episode was 59 minutes of shooting time. I edited down to 28 minutes of usable time that I posted onto YouTube. I don't know about you, but I don't have 28 minutes of my time to watch some stupid video. So I got to keep these videos a lot shorter. Today's video is going to be about the primer or the base coat on your model horse. In the model horse industry, there's essentially two different methods of putting a primer coat onto your model horse. The first one is something that I call a rattle can, just simply a spray can. Here in America, we can buy these at any hardware store. Even gas stations will sell this stuff. So you can buy this everywhere. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through real briefly a list of pros and cons to using something like this or white acrylic paint. So let's get started. First of all, let's start with this. In America here, we have two primary suppliers of rattle cans that are big names that you can buy anywhere at any hardware store. One is called Rust-Oleum and the other is called Krylon. For some reason, Krylon is not available as much to me now as it used to be 5 or 10, 15 years ago. In my opinion, they are both about the same. As far as quality, adhesion, color, durability, stuff like that. The thing that jumps out at me when you read the fine print, these contain acetone. And we're going to circle back to acetone in a moment. So let's talk about rattle cans for a minute. Some of the good things about a rattle can is when you spray your model, you're done spraying it, there's almost no cleanup. Put your cap back on and walk away, you're done. Hang your model up, set it up to dry, whatever. So that's one good thing about rattle cans is there's almost no cleanup. You can purchase them just about anywhere, and they have super good adhesion because of the acetone inside the ingredients. And that acetone is in both Krylon and Rust-Oleum. And to my knowledge, acetone or something similar to a chemical equivalent of it would be in just about any rattle can paint that says primer. Not all paints are the same. Get one if you're using this as a base coat. Get a primer. The cons, we're weighing pros and cons. Which one should you use? For reasons not to use this, they're slightly toxic. In fact, they're a lot toxic. They're not environmentally friendly. They're also more expensive. This can in America right now in September of 2024 costs about $7.99 at most places. And this can will coat about 7 models. So you're spending about $1 a model just to put a base coat on. Other bad points about a rattle can is you need to spray it outside. Because it's toxic, there are fumes, they go everywhere. You cannot use it inside an enclosed room. You've got to be someplace where you have super good ventilation, a paint booth, or even outside. Another reason not to use these is they can take a long time to dry. If you need to put on 2 coats, they need to be at least 24 hours apart. What else? You have less control over the spray. This little cap right here, it's either on or off, and that's about the only control you have, plus the speed and the distance from your model. So there's a lot less control with these. If you do get any on your fingertips, I've got blue on this one. I was using one of these earlier. If you do get it on your fingertips, you need another solvent to clean it up. You need lacquer thinner, mineral spirits, turpentine, naphtha, something like that to clean it up. And even after cleaning, it's still on your fingers. So those are several of the good points and most of the bad points about a rattle can. Next is just simply using acrylic paint as your base coat. Virtually any acrylic paint, they're virtually identical. Any acrylic paint that's white will work as a base coat. Some of the good points about using acrylic, it can dry in minutes. If you're careful with your airbrush, you keep it away, you put on a light coat, it'll be dry in minutes. They are relatively non-toxic. I wouldn't want to drink this stuff, but it wouldn't kill me either. Because you're using an airbrush, you have a lot greater control over the spray. your base coat does not have to be white. I make all of my base coats white because, in my opinion, it makes the final color pop out a little bit more. But you can make your base coat any color you want. Afterwards, after you've done spraying your model and the model is dry, you have a really good tooth for your next coat to adhere to because they're both going to be acrylic paints. So you have a good coat or a good tooth on your coat. As far as money or costs, this costs about $7. It weighs about 16 ounces, but this will probably coat 40 or 50 models. So your cost per model is significantly reduced when you're using acrylics. And one of the best things is you can shoot it right inside your studio. There's no toxic fumes. Yeah, there are some fumes, but it's so negligible. It's non-existent. So you can use this inside an enclosed room. You can also use something called a hardener. This is by Createx, a huge name in the acrylic paint industry. Createx makes a lot of additives to your paints. I happen to use something called 40-30 Balance and Clear. It's a hardener, and it promotes adhesion between the base coat and the acrylic, or between the base coat and your model horse. So those are some of the positive points of using acrylic paint. Some of the cons against using acrylic paint: you really need to add a hardener if you want to get super good adhesion. You have to clean up your airbrush. That takes, another 10 or 15 minutes, as opposed to just putting a cap back on your can and putting it on the shelf. You're done. With this, you got to clean up your airbrush. And the final thing is you can buy these at a lot more places than you can this. We've got Amazon and Temu and AliExpress and a lot of other online shopping places to buy acrylic paints. So it's kind of a non-issue, but yeah, you have to go out of your way to get acrylic paint, but you can get a rattle can anywhere. So those are just a few of my ideas on using one versus the other. Now, me personally, most of my models will get an acrylic. Once in a while, I'll be out in the shop and I'll have a model with me and I need to coat it right then, so I'll just grab a rattle can and do it right then. But most of the time, I'm using acrylic paint with hardener to do a model horse. One thing to get if you're going to use your airbrush and acrylic paint, get a larger paint cup. This is a 2 ounce. It has a universal nozzle or a universal connection to any gravity-fed airbrush. This one happens to be a Paasche. They work on harder Steenbeck. They work on virtually any bottom feed or gravity-fed airbrush. So get a large container. So anyway, folks, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. My name's Clint. I'm Mystic Valley Designs. I paint model horses. But thanks for tuning in. And those are my opinions on how to do a base coat. So thanks, and I'll talk to you later. Peace out.